Sheila is holding her smile in place as she manages her 88 tons of technology, trying to get everybody, come on, why doesn't it? There we go. And getting everything up and running. Yay, everything's up and running. Every time I do this, I have to brag about how proud I am that I'm getting good so I can actually do technology because it's a problem. Okay, we're going to collapse that and hope we can find it again. Okay, everybody. So I am so excited to be on here live with Katherine Reay, who is a wonderful writer of historical novels. And everybody, as you're ringing in, remember, tell me where you're ringing in from. I was on just a minute ago doing a little commercial on the Facebook page here to tell everybody this is going to start in just a few minutes. So, because I always worry when we first start, there are no comments, there's no anything, and I feel like I am like in outer space talking to nobody. But I'm not talking to nobody now because I'm talking to Katherine. And I do see that we have 2 eyeballs viewing somewhere, whether you are on Instagram or YouTube. I don't know, but I thank you for joining us today. I know we're going to have a fabulous conversation here. And let's start with, I know people will join us as we get going here, but Katherine, I want you to just tell us a little bit about, you are a Canadian girl, right?
I'm not. I'm a Chicagoan at the moment. I am.
Because I thought that's in Canada.
No, I'm not from Canada. I was born in Columbus, Ohio. And I am Midwestern, though I've moved 17 times. I think like a Midwesterner. I've lived in England and Ireland and Seattle and Austin, Texas, etc. But I consider myself a Midwesterner.
Wow. I don't know why I thought you were in Canada. That's just so bizarre. Well, then I won't ask you about why books are so expensive in Canada.
I did wonder why you texted me that question. I was like, this is interesting. I need to do a little research.
Oh, I'm such an airhead. What can I say? My head is full of air. Hey, everybody, thanks for ringing in. And it's so much fun to see where you're all coming in from. We've got California and South Dakota and Central Washington and New York. And that's very cool. Thank you guys for joining us, Jersey Shore. I just love, we have
Illinois.
That's so cool. We love it. We love it. I'm so happy you all could be here with myself and with Katherine Reay. And for those of you who are just now joining us, I will say it once again. She is a historical writer. She is a U.S. gal. And God bless her, she just got back from doing a conference in Florida. So I can't believe she's taking time to hang out here with us after being, you got to be exhausted. So, but hey, you're young and tough and you can do it.
Running a little bit of adrenaline and 3 crackers slathered with hummus on my way through the door. My flight was delayed, but I got here in time. So this is
I am impressed. I really had you cutting this to the last nth of an inch here. So thanks for doing that and making time to be with us. And so let's get right down to it. I want to talk just a little bit about, it's always fun to talk with authors about what some of their favorite things are. So have you got a favorite hobby, a favorite something you're doing when you're not writing? What do you love to do when you're not writing?
When I'm not writing, one of my favorite places to be is in Montana, and I love to fly fish. I love to hike. Let's see, I'm just beginning to run again. I used to run marathons, and I will never run another marathon again, but I'm beginning to run very, very small, short distances. I love to read, and I feel like I've been writing so much lately and traveling so much lately that I haven't had time to really, savor good books. So,
wow, that's a lot. Well, and running, of course, I've reached the point in life. I said, you know what? I'm not running unless something's chasing me. And even now I'm like, no, I'm just going to say, here I am. Eat me, make it fast, because I just, running is just, oh my goodness, that's just, those days are over. But that's really cool that you are so buff and fit and doing that and being inspiring to the rest of us and running marathons. Wow. You think you'll run some more marathons at some point?
Absolutely will not. It was for my body, I think it was too much. And I got very injured in my last one. It was just too much. I should not be running 26.2 miles. I would love to run 3 to 6, and I think that'd be great. and maybe even as much as a half marathon someday, but no more marathons.
Wow, that really is impressive, though. My goodness, running marathons. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you're a busy lady then, and you've got a family, right? You've got a husband, you're married, right?
I do. I am married. I was looking over here at the comment. Debbie said, I love to run before I messed up my knees. Debbie, I understand that. I messed up my back, and that's
Ooh.
well, I'll never run a big, long distance again. I have a wonderful husband, and I've got 3 kids.
Wow, so you are
3
busy.
dogs.
Oh my gosh, you are busy then.
So the last dog, complete surprise. My husband surprises me with a Great Dane puppy.
Oh no.
Which sounds like a form of torture, except for the fact that for some reason I've always wanted a Great Dane puppy. And I think it's because my favorite animal, you can kind of see behind me, my favorite animal are elephants. And that is the closest I will get to ever owning an elephant.
Oh my gosh.
And so now this puppy is 9 months old, and he's 140 pounds on his way to 200.
Oh my goodness.
The first time, I've been married many, many years, and this is the first time in our dog experience that I've been the favorite.
Oh,
I've really worked hard to be the favorite, and I'm the favorite. So
yay! Well, it's nice to be
my
the
puppy.
Oh my gosh. So we had some more gals come in. I saw someone come in through Canada just a minute ago, and I see some of my loyal readers. One of my street team is here. Hi, Kathy. Yeah, guys, thanks again for joining us. We're going to keep talking here with Katherine. We found out a little bit about her, what she likes to do when she's not reading. But I want to talk a little bit now about your writing. You write historical novels, right? How did you end up saying, I want to write historical novels? Have you always loved to read historical novels? Do you love history?
Yes, I was a history major in college, but prior to my 3 historical novels, you can kind of see on the wall behind me, The London House, A Shadow in Moscow, and then The Berlin Letters, which comes out on Tuesday. Those are my only 3 historicals. Prior to that, I have written 7 contemporary novels.
Oh my, okay.
So I haven't been always in the historical space. But in 2019, I published a novel called The Printed Letter Bookshop. And that was about 3 women, very different ages, who come together. They're not friends at the beginning, but they come together to save an independent bookstore. And through mishaps, mayhem, misunderstandings, and mistakes, they become friends. But what I realized was that none of those 3 women, and it's one of the meta themes of the book, none of them is living her best life. She is living in the past because either she was happy there or she doesn't understand her past, or she's living into the future someday when she thinks she'll be happy. And that kind of brought me to this realization that our past is so important, whether we know about what it really is or not. And that led me to The London House, because I wanted to bring the past center stage. I didn't want it alluded to as backstory or mere memory. I wanted the reader and the contemporary heroine, that's a split time novel, The London House. Okay. I wanted them to interact with it kind of live. So that's how I got into historical fiction.
Oh my goodness, that's so interesting. So that wasn't, you didn't start saying, oh, I just really want, my way back in another time, another name, I wrote Regency romances. And I love historicals. I love Regencies. Yeah. Well, I was the worst researcher. I would try so hard, everything right. And there would always be something I messed up. And finally, after I crashed that career, I was like, I'm not sure you're meant to write this.
I love the research. I love the research. I will say I do truly believe that, these are not information dumps by any means. Like I have to have a handle on the whole iceberg, of research. But 90%, like a good iceberg, is beneath the surface. But if I've done all that research, you'll believe the 10% I put in the story. And
that's brilliant. I love that. That's brilliant. And there is so much. I mean, you really have to immerse yourself into the world. I mean, no matter what you're writing, you have to immerse yourself into that world. But you really have to time travel and know what's going on in that era.
Yeah.
So very cool. We're going to get back to talk some more about the Berlin letters, but someone did have a comment and wanted to know, with your Great Dane, how did the other dogs welcome the Great Dane puppy?
Oh, very good question. Okay, so Dash, the English Cocker Spaniel, who's only about 23 pounds, unfortunately, Duke keeps trying to play with her, and she really does not like that, because he plays a little rough. He's 140
Sure,
pounds and a
sure.
9-month-old puppy. And so that's interesting, but they do like each other, I can tell, because she'll get a toy in her mouth and be a little saucy and come around and try and play with him. Now, Patch, the 11-year-old German short-haired pointer, he's having a little trouble giving up his alpha spot.
No.
I know. They are still trying to work out who's alpha, and they're not entirely friends. They're not enemies, but it's an interesting dynamic.
Oh my goodness. That's just like, oh, wow. Well, you're a brave woman. 3 dogs. Oh my goodness. That's a handful. And 3 dogs, and then you have kids, and then you're writing full time. And oh my goodness, your life is busy. A quick hi to some of you who are joining us just now. We've got Barbara coming in from Florida. We've got Cindy coming in, who says she's gotten away from historicals, but anything around World War II era. So this is a little after. This is Cold War, isn't it?
This is the London House is World War II era. That's true. Okay. That's up there on the wall, the London House. Shadow in Moscow is right after World War II, 1955 to 1985, Cold War. And the Berlin Letters is primarily 1989, but one character will take you. There's 2 points of view. One character will take you from the day the wall goes up in 1961 all the way to when the wall goes down in 1989.
Oh, that should be good reading. You know, we way back when I was young and the pterodactyls flew, we did a trip to East Germany before the wall came down. And my husband wanted to go visit his ancestors, tromping around looking for graveyards in East Germany. But that was an experience I will never forget. About scarred me for life. It was at the time, there was such an era of oppression that hung over the country. It was just creepy and scary. And the entrance to the Autobahn was cobblestone. So it was like you'd stepped way back in time. Everything was gray because, of course, there's no play money for paint. Well, money is all going to Russia for armaments and things. And oh my goodness, when we got to, I forget, what city were we in? Was it Dresden? Is that east? I get so confused. Anyway, they took our pass. We get to the hotel, and they said, "Viv, they'll take your passports." And I'm like, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm never going to see my babies again.
You're never going to leave.
Yeah. We're going to. Fortunately, they gave them back, but that was just what they do. They were going to hold on to your passports while you're here, and we were told where we could go, where we could stay, what we could do. And then when we got in a fairly quiet. I don't remember where we got in, but there was a kind of a non-event going in, but going out, it was quite a major checkpoint, and it was like something out of a movie. There's the big wall, and up on the top, along the wall, is walking the guard with the German Shepherd and the rifle, barbed wire everywhere, then the guns, and they're slipping mirrors under the cars to see if anybody is hanging under a car trying to get out. It was just awful, and I felt like this is. This, if you're not careful, is the end result of socialism, because, when it gets in bad hands, it's a really lovely theory, something for everyone. Well, it was in East Germany at that time. It was something for everyone, but not really. And it was a scary, scary place to be in. So, of course, now the East is very different. We've been there since then several times, and it's lovely. But they went through some very hard times. And so this book, I imagine, is going to have some really exciting reading in it if it's during that era.
It does. It's very much a chase of a story. The story actually takes place in the last week of the Berlin Wall, the first week of November in 1989, and a young codebreaker. She works for the CIA in a fictional code-breaking project based on a real amazing code-breaking project.
Oh, very cool.
And she stumbles across a symbol that she recognizes from a childhood memory. And she quickly learns that her father, whom she presumed was dead all these years, over this 28-year period has been writing coded messages to her grandfather. And so she decides to go to Berlin and break him out of an East German Stasi prison. And so it is a love story. It is a spy story. It's a chase story. It has so much in it. And I loved writing it. Went to Berlin for some research, which I adored. And yeah, so you're absolutely right. There's a lot of gray and some seriousness to it, but there's also a lot of light and hope and fun within it as well.
I like that. I like the whole thing about hope. So do we have, I hate to say a happy ending because that sounds so trite, but do we have a hopeful and positive ending in the book?
I will tell you, all of my books, I will not write a book that doesn't end in hope. Just, I'm going to lay it out there. That is sort of, well, because I believe that's what a life has to hold. So
I love that. I love that. I'm with you on that. I just don't want, I want a reader to finish the book, even if we've shed some tears along the way. I want them to finish the book feeling encouraged and hopeful.
Absolutely.
Boy, I love that. That just sounds, and we have that pre-ordered, by the way, guys. And where can people pre-order your book? I'm assuming Amazon, Barnes & Noble?
Yeah, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, any place. If someone goes to my website, which is my name, Katherine Reay, all squished together, katherinereay.com.
R-E-A-Y, just so you know.
R-E-A-Y, that's true. If you click on any of my books, you will get all of the direct links to Kobo, Apple, Target, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. They'll all come up under that book's title. So it'll take you straight there.
So are you going to be doing making any appearances promoting the book, or are you just going to be kind of online? If somebody wants to see you in person, what are the chances?
Please come see me in person, because I'm about to go on the road for a month.
A month?
Yeah, no, I'm not going to be the Great Dane's favorite when I get back after this. I'm a little concerned.
You should not.
No, I have 2 talks here in Chicago on Tuesday, which is the day the book launches, but then I fly out Wednesday morning, and I will be back Easter weekend.
Wow. So oh my goodness. That's so cool.
And I would love it if people would check out on my website, my events page, and come say hi, so I'm not talking to myself for a month.
I know. Oh my goodness. guys, there's nothing more scary to an author than you go to something and you hope somebody's going to be there, and they're maybe you and the janitor kind of thing. So and every author has her story about that. And I know I've shared mine in my wild and crazy days when I dressed like what I thought an author should dress. I had wild outfits. My favorite is still my purple gaucho outfit with my big purple gaucho hat and my pearl thing, my all the sequel. Oh, good Lord above. Oh my goodness. People kind of like, is it Halloween already? What are you doing? Anyway, now I can remember one bookstore where somebody came in, and it was at a Walden Books, one of the ones that are no longer with us, but somebody came up and asked me where the bathroom was. I was like, the highlight of every author has those stories. So it's really fun when for an author when you can come and see her in person. And I think it's usually fun for us as readers too. I love going to author events and meeting authors.
I do.
Yeah, it's just very fun to meet them in person and find out more about their writing process and it's just, and then you sort of become friends. I cannot tell you how many of my readers I've become friends with, places that I've just met.
Me too. In fact, do you see the elephant with the heart way over in the corner? A reader sent that to me, and we became friends. I mean, that's so sweet. So sweet.
Love that.
Amazing.
Very, very cool. It is. It's fun. In fact, we're getting ready while you're working. I'm going to be playing. We're going to be doing a little cruise here just got the end of the month. And we're actually going with one of my buddies that I met here through Facebook. And she and her husband had come on our Christmas cruise, and we've kind of become friends. And so we're going to cruise again. So I'm very excited about that. And by the way, guys, don't forget about, I think I mentioned it before, if you want to cruise with some readers, the Barbara Vay cruise is next year in February, and it's a little week-long Caribbean cruise, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're wanting to hang with that, and Katherine, spread the word. If any of my author buddies want to come, we can just party our way along the high seas.
That's
so anyway,
amazing.
it's very fun going to these author events. And of course, a lot of us, we're trying to be very careful with our pennies now. And I understand that you have to choose what you're going to do. And we do also always appreciate you guys investing your money in our books, because we know it's hard earned. And books are getting more expensive. Everything's getting more expensive.
They are. And what's a beautiful thing, and I didn't realize this for years and years, is that if you go to your library and request a book, they will often buy it for the library, which is an incredible thing too. And I didn't know that until just recently. And I went to my library and I was like, could you buy this, 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 and this for me? And they actually did.
Oh, that's right. Yes. This way, you can get your book for free, but you can help the author. Now, we had a question that came in for you. How did you get involved with 10-Minute Book Talk? Do you have a favorite episode or author mate?
Okay. So how did we get involved? How did Rachel, Marie, and I start this? I think we started like over a Zoom one day. We were just chatting and we were like, well, let's take this live. So that's what we did. And we've had so much fun. I'll tell you, I don't have a favorite author.
Yes, you do, me.
Okay, well, so true. But what I will say is I have a favorite question. At the end of every 10-minute book talk, the end of every interview, we ask, what is bringing you joy today?
Oh, I love that.
And that, again, is because I believe we need hope and joy in the world. But the answers are so fun. Like, Jamie Ford said, I've got $5 in my pocket, which is a little depressing. It was going to take $5, but I've got $5 in my pocket and I hear the ice cream truck out the window. Oh. And that was so fun. And then somebody else said, my son has just come home from college. Or someone else said, it could be anything. Someone just held a cup of coffee and said, this is bringing me joy and it's going to set my day up beautifully. And it's just so much fun to hear those answers. So now, that's what I love.
You've had quite a few people on Jamie Ford, of course, who is just an amazing, just famous writer. Who else have you had? You've had a lot of people on. Can you think of some of your guests?
We've had a lot. Jane Green. We've had Kristen Harmel. We've had Christy Woodson Harvey, Patty Callahan Henry. We've had Adriana Trigiani. We've had so many. I think we've been running this, once a week. So it's 52. We've had some duplicates because writers keep writing, which is fabulous. But I would say we've had at least 100 to 200 authors, somewhere in there.
That's amazing. And you guys are so fun to talk to, too. I mean, you're such a fun bunch. It's just so cool. I like to laugh. Sonia, thank you, Sonia. Sonia says, you and Sheila Roberts are bringing me joy today. Oh, right for you, Sonia. Oh, my goodness. Well, so are you working on something new now?
I am. In fact, as I said, I'm on the tour for the next month for the Berlin Letters. But my next manuscript is due May 15th. So I'm going to have to be writing on the road.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
But I am loving this new story. I'm kind of leaving spies behind, and I'm turning to 1973 London with an art forgery mystery. Not a mystery, it's a historical fiction, but an art forgery caper, one might say.
That's fun. Oh, I love capers. That sounds really fun.
I don't know that I'm a great caper writer, but I'm trying to be caper-esque.
Caper-esque is good. We got a couple coming in late. Hello to Brenda and hello to Chelsea. I saw came in and Lori says, my husband heard you and told me that I bring him joy.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's so sweet.
That's
oh my gosh, how fun is that? Oh goodness. Well, and I was busy looking at comments. So when does that? I probably missed it. When does the next book come out then? The one you're working on now?
It does not have a date yet, but it will probably be May of 2025.
Okay. All right. So something new down the pike. Well, meanwhile, you guys, you'll have, if you haven't read Katherine yet, you're going to have a lot of books to catch up on. And check out her website, just katherinereay.com. correct?
Just KatherineReay.com. Yeah. And as I said, there are 11 books there. I'm going to tell you, because if I'm new to a lot of people, the titles of a few of my books might be a little surprising, meaning that I have one titled Dear Mr. Knightley and one titled Lizzie and Jane. And those are the only two that are the Austen Escape and the Bronte plot. They obviously have very overt references to literature, but they are not retellings of Jane Austen's stories. And that can be, when you see Dear Mr. Knightley, you think, oh my goodness, it's a retelling of Emma. It's a wonderful story. It is a story, though, of a woman who grows up in the Chicago foster care system, and she has a very traumatic childhood. And her self-defense mechanism is to hide behind the literary personas of her favorite characters.
Oh, I love that.
She has to lay down that fiction in order to find her own voice and to have all the things she wants in life. Love, hope, family, friendship, true friendship. And so that's what that's about. And so it does surprise people when they think it's going to be Emma, and it's something different. So there you go.
I love that. That's so cool. And who doesn't love Jane Austen? Well, I guess there are some people, but I don't think here is one of them. That just sounds delightful. I'm going to have to check that book out too. And meanwhile, I am really looking forward to reading the Berlin Letters when that comes out in just a couple of days, guys.
No, couple days.
Yeah, so be sure to check her website, find out what her tour schedule is so that you know, and if she happens to be coming to a bookstore New Year, then you can have a chance to meet her. So, and she's just lovely. And oh my gosh, a month of tour. I'm exhausted on your behalf.
I know, yeah.
Oh, it'll be way fun. Very exciting. Very excited for you, and looking forward to the book and more adventures in the future. And I just want to thank Katherine for joining us today. You guys, I'm going to let her, poor thing is waiting to have her dinner from her flight. We're going to let her go and eat, and we'll let the rest of you go, because for some of you, it's a little later than for those of us here on the West Coast. But I want to thank all of you for joining us today, guys, for this chat. I hope you enjoyed meeting Katherine and having a chance to meet a new author. And you guys have a great week this week, and we will be chatting soon.
Thank you so much. Love meeting you all. Thank you.